Objections have been filed in 2 criminal cases questioning Superior Court Judge James Canto's ability to preside over criminal cases currently pending before his court. Attorney Randy Cunliffe has moved to disqualify the judge from presiding over his client, Kyle Evan Blas's criminal case. According to the objection, Cunliffe believes that Canto failed to disclose facts that require his disqualification. Because of the judge's alleged failure to do so in open court, Cunliffe has objected to Canto's competency to preside over his client's case. At issue is the judge's relationship with a prosecutor from the Office of the Attorney General. According to documents filed in Blas's case, Canto was seen observing the prosecutor's performance in a trial before Judge Fern Perez, and also seen attending a session in presiding Judge Alberto Lamorena's courtroom where she was the prosecutor involved. Cunliffe argues that he can only assume that Judge Canto was observing the Assistant Attorney General's performance in order to give her advice on how to be a better prosecutor and lawyer. He goes on to state that since she works at the AG's office, such advice would likely be shared with other attorneys general. Cunliffe says, quote, "It is not the judge's duty to create better attorneys general and to give them advice as to how to practice law, and his behavior creates an appearance of impartiality." A declaration filed by the attorney states that he's been approached by quite a number of lawyers who practice criminal defense work who've expressed concerns over Judge Canto hearing criminal matters while he is in a relationship with an attorney working in the prosecution division of the AG's office. In fact, Cunliffe notes that the matter was discussed at length during a recent meeting of the criminal defense bar. Cunliffe notes that the judge has the right to have relationships, but he maintains that those must be made known to the parties as a disqualifying fact, so that the parties can determine how they wish to proceed. He adds failure to recognize this duty based upon the behavior exhibited by the court creates more than just an appearance of partiality, as violations of the American Bar Association's model rules of judicial conduct are grounds for discipline. Attorney Curtis Vandeveld, meanwhile, has filed a similar objection in Norman Camacho James Jr.'s case. During a hearing last week, the judge confirmed he was involved in a relationship with a prosecuting attorney, but maintained that the relationship did not rise to the level of a disqualifying relationship, as the prosecuting attorney did not appear in the judge's courtroom on the matter before him and was walled off from the cases before him. But Vandeveld and his client aren't so convinced and believe the judge will make legal rulings favorable to the government whether his girlfriend is representing the prosecution in his courtroom or not. Vandeveld refers to a recent trial where he observed the judge's girlfriend in the courtroom communicating with the prosecutor. He alleges that the judge's demeanor and behavior changed dramatically when the woman came into his courtroom. The defense attorney characterized the judge's actions as Canto became exceedingly cold to the defense from that moment on and seemed warm to the prosecution. The attorney believes the girlfriend's presence may have affected the judge's exercise of decision-making during that trial. Vandeveld doesn't believe that walling off the prosecutor is effective since she still appears in Canto's courtroom while other criminal matters are being addressed by the court, raising concerns about his ability to be impartial. The judge has not yet responded to the objections that were filed, so it remains to be seen whether the decisions made in these 2 cases will have an impact on whether Judge Canto will be able to sit on any criminal cases in the future. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Mindy Egan.